Welcome to the Saynetwork podcast. I'm Jim Sparks, and I'm here with Jordan Nix.
Hello.
As always.
Yeah, I'm always here.
For this season. Elijah Chandler.
Hello there.
Hello. And Emily Anderson.
Hello.
Your guys' names flow really well.
It's because they start with E's.
Yeah, nice alliteration.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, we're getting into it
Ooh.
right away.
Yeah.
We're not even messing around. Getting straight into English lessons right now.
Grammar.
Elijah is from Southern California area, born and raised. Emily too.
I was born in Reno, Nevada.
Whoa. It's
Yeah.
the littlest, biggest city in the world.
I know. I lived there for like 6 weeks.
You know what? Yeah, I did peg you to be a very smart person, and you got out of there real quick. Good for
Yes. Yeah.
you. Actually, Reno's kind of an interesting little city. Have you been back?
No, I have not. There's slot machines in the grocery stores. It's not like the classiest place.
Wow.
But one day I will return.
Classy for
Plan
Nevada,
on it.
though.
She's planning
Moving
on
back.
it.
To burn it down, right? Those slot machines.
No arson in my future.
Never know with Emily. Emily works as a social media editor here at THQ. What does that mean? What does the social media editor mean?
Yeah, so THQ West has several publications. We have Caring Magazine, New Frontier Chronicle, and I work on more of the advertising side of that. So promoting articles that we've published, connecting with influencers, getting them to maybe write for us or promote us. So just sharing Salvation Army news on the web.
What is an influencer to you?
An influencer? Do you want the sarcastic answer
Well,
or
how
like
many
the real one?
followers do they need?
What do you? Yeah. What
What's the number?
classifies?
I feel like over 10,000, you can be considered like a micro influencer.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the sarcastic answer?
Somebody who is probably has a very symmetrical, nice face and was a mean girl in high school that is now getting paid
Wow,
to post on Instagram.
so accurate.
Wow.
Wow.
That's good.
That's pretty
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
That's why followers shouldn't meet their heroes.
I was actually considered an influencer on Instagram for a hot minute.
Yeah? Who were your biggest sponsors?
My sponsor was a sunglass company, and they gave me free sunglasses, and I had to do posts for them, and it felt weird. Honestly, it did feel weird, and it is not me. And they gave me free stuff to post for them, and it's a known sunglass company. It was really cool, and I got a free pair of glasses out of it. But I felt this pressure of having to post something, and it's not my style, and it was weird. I didn't like it at all. I don't long for the influencing community. Elijah joined the media team this past year. Pretty new. You're only 6 months old here.
Not even. It's like barely 4.
And you came out of what school? Film school?
I went to Biola.
Biola. Oh, that's right.
Oh. Yeah, I know.
Biola,
I'm sorry, Jordan.
Those guys.
Yeah. Biola is the only university in Southern California that they figured out they put it in a location that's not near a freeway.
Yes.
It's impossible to find that in Southern California. And Biola's like, oh,
Yes.
no, I think we could do this.
And they pride themselves to be in the shape of a toilet seat.
That is true, actually. That is true. What do you do? You are a cinematography manager. What does that mean?
Well, that's the corporate name of it.
Okay.
I just call myself a cinematographer or DP, director of photography. I basically do all the video shoots. So half of it, I would have to say, is internal media. But the other half, which has recently been the dominant work I've been doing, is it's all the short documentaries that gets published. Most of the stories ends up coming through the magazine, and they end up doing a lot of collabs like that, following a story. And so I think it was in the span of like not even 2 months, I was in 3 different states following like a bunch of different stories. I think it was like 4 or 5 videos. In Seattle, we did 2, and it was like over the span of 10 days. And then before that, I was in Colorado, and after Seattle, I was in Arizona.
Wow.
So
So what is that like? I mean, you're new to the Salvation Army. Both of you are new to the Salvation Army, and so you're in a position of hearing a bunch of stories from the Salvation Army.
Yes.
What has that been like for you?
Yeah. For me, I grew up in the church, so I was already accustomed to the language, the environment, the culture. But I only knew Salvation Army as, around Christmas time, doing all the different drives and donations. And a lot of my friends were super passionate about it. They would volunteer sometimes, but I had no idea that they were their own denomination, their own church. I knew about the property here, but I had no idea it was a seminary either. Like, I didn't know you could actually go to school. So there's a lot of things that were very new to me, especially the uniforms.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel that different outside of the aesthetics. I think really it is just aesthetics. A lot of it seems similar.
Emily?
To me, this is like a very beautiful learning experience because I feel like a lot of the things that I see are like wrong with the world or that have always sort of bothered me, maybe like attitudes towards like marginalized groups. Like the Salvation Army has already been out here for literally like over a century fighting these things that I'm passionate about. And they just, they're so humble. And so it's nice to get to brag on their behalf. But like, here are some really good people actually fixing the problems that I see in the world.
Yeah.
That's actually true. I feel like there's a lot more action than what I grew up around. A lot of it's just talked about, but
yeah,
I had to say that is the one different thing. Yeah.
It's cool. And Jordan's new too.
I am new. Yeah.
What about
All
you,
three of
Jordan?
us.
Yeah.
What's the question?
What about the Salvation Army? Like,
what do I think about it?
Like, yeah, I mean, you've been in, so like, what maybe has changed for you as far as your view of what the Salvation Army is by hearing the stories?
I mean, yeah, I kind of was in the same boat as you guys. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew they were a thrift store, and we would always go by and drop off our like unwanted things at this place. It's actually funny. I would always hear about the Denver Red Shield.
Yep.
Growing up, and I don't know where I always heard about it. I just remember like always hearing that, and then like at DYLC, someone was talking about like, oh, I was at the Denver Red Shield. And I was like, that's what that is? That's Salvation Army?
It's like, well, I know that.
But I think it's awesome, like, seeing all the stories. I mean, even when I got hired, you sent me Help Share Change. And I was, like, browsing through those videos, and it's really cool hearing all the things. I feel like it's, like, a never-ending, like you say, you've been in it for, your whole life, and you're still hearing stories of what they're doing. So I think that's really cool.
That's cool. Awesome. Well, let's get into some questions, and these are going to be rapid fire. And what we've learned is they're kind of rapid fire. They're not like speed round. But favorite amusement park, Emily?
Disneyland, the creme de la creme.
Wow. Woodstock.
I'm biased. I have to say Disneyland too. I literally just went.
All right. Jordan?
I think I'd say Lakeside in Denver. It's like this very ghetto, like scary amusement park where you think all the like rides are gonna break underneath you.
All right.
I don't know.
So it's a cheap version of
I'm
Knott's
weird.
Berry Farm.
Yeah, I just have really good memories there, and I think it's just like kind of gross and cringe, and I like it.
For Disneyland, are you okay with California Adventure?
I am.
You are.
I like the Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Okay. You?
I have yet to try that one. I mean, I've just gone to Disneyland last week, and I hadn't been since like 2014, 2015. So a lot has changed. It was my first time at Galaxy's Edge. So I like California Adventure. I definitely haven't gone to it as much, especially growing up.
Nice. It just tells me what level you're at on your answers there. Your favorite place to eat?
I mean,
go ahead.
We're SoCal native, In-N-Out.
In-N-Out? I love In-N-Out. I drive by it every day on the way home from work.
Dude, it's dangerous.
The one by my house is number 3. So it's like the vintage looking one. And then I realized it's been a month since I've hit In-N-Out, and that's been my coldest streak in a long time. So
Whoa.
I'll have to resolve that.
Wow.
Emily, what about you?
I am going to make myself sound very LA. Earth Cafe.
Of course. Of course.
Earth spelled wrong?
It's
yeah,
good.
Earth spelled wrong.
It's Earth.
I love spending $20 on a coffee and a muffin, but this just is so good.
Tastes better than Starbucks.
Wait, that's your meal?
Yeah.
A muffin and coffee? That's going to sustain you?
Coffee is all I need.
Oh my gosh. What kind of coffee is your jam?
Oat milk.
No.
What?
Okay.
Okay, not that basic.
I'm not that basic. I had to tell one of my older bosses
drink
like a
oat
couple
milk.
jobs ago. I was like, just
Just
because I'm
straight.
white doesn't mean I'm vegan.
All right.
Oat milk without the coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, can I get a
what's your
latte with no
coffee?
coffee?
Dirty chai.
Oh,
Dirty
yeah.
chai?
Mhm.
Those are good.
I'm sorry, I don't even know what
It
that
just
is.
means it's
It
like
has
a
an
chai
espresso.
latte. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chai
Espresso.
with espresso.
It's an
yeah.
espresso. That makes
Oh.
it so dirty, but it's so good.
Apparently, I've never.
Keep it clean, guys.
I don't drink coffee, so we're not going to go to lunch together. I don't drink coffee, so sorry.
Man,
All my dreams
Dude.
Well, and
crumbling down.
muffins.
you don't drink muffins?
No, I don't drink muffins anymore. Jordan, your place to eat?
That's a hard one. I like a lot of
There's so
places.
many.
I mean, my favorite type of food is Italian. So like I discovered this Italian restaurant near my house called North. It's like in
Yeah.
Sounds hip. Sounds
right,
Emily's
right on like
perked up.
the right on the Irvine like Newport border. It's really good. So
right.
I'd say that's
Check it out.
probably my top right now.
Does that sound good to you? Emily?
Yeah, no, I'm just surprised. Like he's just hearing of North now. Like,
Oh.
how long have you lived in OC?
Like a year and a half.
Okay.
I
And
was
I'm
born
not
there and I
just
haven't heard
hearing
of
about
it.
I'm just hooked on it.
Emily, Emily's got a hipster blog
Yeah.
of all the little dive restaurants
Yeah.
that are going to be out of business by the time you read
Earth
it.
is
Oh,
so
man.
divey.
No, that's true. Earth is around.
That's a not type.
TV show.
With the amount of people that are in line, definitely not.
All right, TV show that you watch or watched that may be embarrassing to admit.
Me? Okay. The Bachelor, 100%. I'm so obsessed with it. It's so embarrassing. For the longest time, I was like, what in the misogyny is this?
But in the misogyny.
And now, can't stop. Can't look away.
How many seasons have you watched? All of them?
No. They're hard to find, the old ones. I've seen probably like,
But you've tried.
I've tried.
Okay.
I have tried.
So you, when did you start?
3 years ago.
All
with
right.
Pilot Pete.
Pilot Pete. All right. Good for you. Elijah?
Embarrassing? Well, I'm not
Sorry,
embarrassed.
I
by
watched
it.
half of one episode of The Bachelor because I knew someone on it.
Mm.
And it was one of the most difficult pieces of television I've ever had to
No,
watch in my
agreed.
entire life.
I had
it
an ex
was-
that forced me to watch it too.
It was
very
really
painful.
rough. And I knew the person. Like I had a vested
horrible.
interest in it. And it was still a challenge for me to do it. But we'll talk off air who it was. Go ahead.
I wouldn't say embarrassing because I'm not embarrassed by it, and I don't even know if it's embarrassing. But I've been liking most of the Star Wars shows that have been coming out of Disney.
Oh,
Definitely
the
enjoying them.
Mandalorian type.
I mean, Mandalorian. I mean, season 2 got a little bit like a little fan servicey, which is like, yeah, I'm a huge fan, but even I recognize it was like not
Are we
the best
gonna-
quality.
Are we going to get Star Wars out? Is that possible?
What do you mean Star Wars out?
There's so much Star Wars content coming out.
I mean,
I
that's
don't even know
Disney.
what's happening. I
They're
haven't seen like
they're
any
milking
Star
it
Wars
really
since.
hard. They want that money.
Do you think you're going to burn out on it? Or are you that deep?
Well, it's hard for me to burn out
All right.
on it because I've been a lifelong fan.
I watched the original 3 Star Wars. I don't know where they land in the episodes, but
The middle.
that's kind of where I was. I'm like,
But if you're a
I
true
have-
fan,
yeah.
it's like, no, that's the end. That's
I'm-
where it ends.
I'm
With
like, I have
Mandalorian
no
right
further
after.
questions. I don't need to watch anymore.
Yeah.
I'm good. Jordan, show.
Selling Sunset.
I
Oh,
love Selling Sunset.
I knew Emily was.
I actually really like Selling Sunset.
Yeah.
I was like, the first time I watched it was like me and all my roommates in college. There's like 6 of us, and we all just like sat and binged the whole first season when it came out. And it's so funny.
Yes.
And there's
Ironic
cool houses.
Yes.
that rarely get sold.
I think they get sold.
What?
Oh.
3 a season maybe get sold.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. No,
But-
they sell one like every episode.
A bunch of realtors just barking at each other.
But we watched Selling the OC, and that made me want to move out of the OC.
Mm,
Oh.
They
Wow.
were a disgrace.
Yeah.
I had to watch an episode of Selling Sunset to like
Just
cleanse my
get out when
palate.
you can.
Yeah.
Get out as soon as
It's bad.
possible.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. All right. What do you want to see? Who do you want to see live in concert?
The 1975. I have
Oh.
tickets. They're coming to the Forum in November, and I'm going.
Come
What
on.
is the Forum famous for?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Am I outing myself as like a baby?
Kia.
A bit.
I don't know.
You guys don't know what the Forum is
No.
famous for? The Los Angeles Lakers played there.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness.
You're talking to the wrong audience.
I don't watch sports. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, hold on. I'm just gonna take a moment to die just a little bit here.
A moment of
Rest
silence,
in
everyone.
peace.
Holy moment of silence.
Elijah, what, 1975 rock?
They're like a British alt rock situation.
Yeah.
Got it.
This is a big deal because I've been a fan for like 8 years now, and I'm finally seeing them.
Is
in
it a concert that you stand up to or sit down?
Stand up?
Okay,
Definitely stand.
got it.
Yeah.
Elijah,
I mean, that's a good choice. I would have to say the Washed Out, I would love to see live. I haven't seen them live. I've only listened and watched the music videos. I've been a huge fan of him too since college. So
nice.
yeah.
Wait,
George?
who?
Washed Out.
Oh, Washed Out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really care to see anyone in concert. I've never been like a big concert
Yeah,
goer.
I haven't either.
I mean,
Yeah.
my wife and I went and saw Billie Eilish for her birthday, which was fun.
Yeah.
And she was super good. So,
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't
Jordan,
know.
Jordan's a couch guy.
Yeah.
The age of streaming has not helped, especially with Netflix and all that.
Yeah.
I
Who
don't
needs to go out anymore?
I've just never been into going to see like concerts.
No.
All
Well, it's
right,
because it's not
no
always the
answer.
most
really.
enjoyable.
Yeah. No, oh, actually, maybe The Weeknd.
Okay,
I think it'd be
yeah,
really cool
that's
to
also a
see.
really good
Yeah.
choice.
There you go. Least favorite chore,
Dishes.
Elijah.
I feel like I'm bandwagoning off your answers. You're always going first. I'm like, me too. I guess maybe either dishes or laundry. 50-50.
I think like cleaning a bathroom.
Mm.
I hate
Yeah,
cleaning
that's true.
bathrooms. It's more like I don't even care about the toilet really or any of that. It's more just like wiping off the countertops and like taking everything off.
Yeah.
To, like
Yeah.
get in those spots that haven't been cleaned. I hate it. Yeah.
I'm afraid to answer because I don't want my wife to expose that. Got to play cards close. All right. Well, thank you, Emily and Elijah, for answering those accurately, I guess. Yeah, sure.
And Jordan.
Jordan.
And Jordan, again.
Sure. Well, Jordan, I was coming to you, but
You're well trained. You've had a lot of experience.
what are we talking about youth culture wise?
We are talking about I thought Emily would also appreciate this. I want to know why Harry Styles is so big right now.
Are we
That's-
talking about Harry
Yes,
Styles?
we are talking about Harry Styles. I see him nonstop. Now he's in like all these movies. He keeps popping up.
Mhm.
And like I think he's charismatic and like stands for some good stuff. But what do you think about him and his like persona is connecting with young people?
Why are you asking me essay questions? I don't know. I think that he speaks to a generation that is talking a lot about gender and
Yeah.
what gender representation looks like. And I think he's speaking to that. And I think he's speaking to a generation that cares a lot about hair and
And style.
and style. Yes, Style by Taylor Swift,
Are those-
allegedly.
Are those puns or real thing? You just said hair and style.
Yes.
They're puns, but like puns that are like true.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And literally inherently
Yeah.
in his name. So
Yeah, I don't know, Elijah. Why do you think?
I definitely think a big part of it is him being so vocal and addressing a lot of the social issues and gender norms. I mean, I remember reading an article about the photo shoot of him wearing the dress, and it wasn't even the dress that was like the main focus of the article. It was talking about a lot of his interactions on set too, with especially the women and how respectful he was, and even asking permission is like, you're not offended if I do this, because I'm not doing this ironically. I'm not doing it as a joke. I'm doing this to be progressive in that sort of way. And I think that's huge, because I feel like for him, he is addressing a lot of the problems in our society, especially related to toxic masculinity in those ways. So I think that being a moral good is a huge point of, why he has grown his brand, because he's not staying silent in these areas and issues. So yeah, and that's one thing I do respect about him. I may not listen to his music a ton, although I will, let it play if it does hop on my, shuffle. So
Nice. I've never heard him sing.
Yeah.
I don't know a One Direction song.
Watermelon sugar.
See, I think where I've been like, I think everything he's doing, like especially addressing like gender norms and toxic masculinity, is great. I just like don't understand the icon status that he's achieved, because like even like Billie Eilish, I think like everything with her, like I feel like she definitely like deserves it. Like she's like the music she's doing is like way different. Everything's
your
like
taste.
unique.
Yes, it's part
And
of it
if
is
he's
taste.
Part of
if
my
he's
taste,
connecting with
but-
people.
But I'm not saying he's bad at all. All I'm saying is I was just wanting to bring up why he's connecting so much with
I mean,
young
we've
people.
always loved boy bands. You know, Beatles.
Yeah.
Even like
The Beatles is
the
a boy
Beatles.
band.
No, I mean it started with Beatles
Are they
for
not?
sure. You know,
I mean, I
One
guess
Direction.
it's for boys. Yeah.
And then you get the singular icons. I mean, look at Elvis Presley. You know, they had to like crop the camera, you know, just not to see below the neck. But like that was the reason why a lot of people wanted to watch it, was like, what was he doing
Yeah.
out of frame in person, you know?
Yeah.
And Harry, he's a beautiful man.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Harry Styles. Good for him.
Big topic these days.
Wow. It is a
Big.
big topic.
Yes.
All right, let's go into the wheel of
Fortune?
fortune. Maybe we're gonna go first. We're gonna go with we'll go with Emily first. Here we go. We're spinning the wheel, and it does make noise. Embarrassing teenage story. I bet you got
Uh-oh.
a handful of these.
I've lived a very embarrassing life. I do a lot of dumb things and I end up looking stupid. So yeah, this is good
Right.
wheel for me.
Keep it appropriate.
Good wheel.
It's in your wheelhouse?
Oh.
Go ahead.
Sorry, bad dad jokes.
Hit it.
So I feel like my most embarrassing moment. So I did ballet growing up, which offers a whole new avenue for ways to be embarrassed, because they put you in ridiculous sparkly costumes. Like you're in front of a lot of people on a stage. You're trying to balance on your freaking toes. Like there's a lot going on. And
It's a lot.
it is a lot. It is a lot.
My nieces did too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember like my junior year of high school, like my physics teacher was like, "Oh, I'm gonna come watch you in the Nutcracker." I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. Thanks,
classic.
Mr. Edick." He's like this old man. I love him to death.
Nice
Any-
plug.
Nice plug. Shout out to Mr. Edick, who will never listen to this. Yeah. So I was doing my like kicky thing, and I
Is that a
faceplanted.
ballet term?
Or is it
Kiki
a
thing?
Kiki Palmer reference?
It was not a kiki ball. It was. Do you want me to use the actual term?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. I was doing like my kick thing behind my head. I was supposed to like get my toe like close to my head,
Uh-huh.
and I slipped and fell straight on my face. And I had my hands on my hips, so like I didn't catch myself. It was just
Oh.
like
Bam, faceplant.
face plant, like a domino
And the
falling.
performance.
In the performance.
Wow.
In the performance. None of that happens during rehearsal. That's always live.
Of course.
Did any of your family say anything to you, or they just pretend like it never happened?
No. Well, Mr. Edick, the physics teacher,
Physics.
physics, he decides to come when I come back to class after like winter break or
No.
whatever. He's like, "So, do you always fall on your face when you do
Oh
ballet,
my
or is that just like a one-time thing?"
And he decided to make a science experiment out of it too. The physics of gravity
Yeah,
at
he was like,
play.
The physics of Emily face planning.
Because in my family, my family would be talking about it just about every time we got together.
I'm not sure my parents actually watched that performance. We did 6 Nutcrackers every year,
Oh,
and I
okay.
think that I skated by in that.
Got lucky.
And you told him not to watch it.
I was like, don't watch.
It's pretty forgettable.
I
Got
mean,
lucky.
in the same show, like I had to do this thing with like hula hoops. Like we were getting way too creative here. Like this.
I don't remember hula hoops in the Nutcracker.
I don't either.
It
Were
was
you
like
guys doing the 50s Nutcracker?
we were like supposed to be like Russian, like acrobats was like I think what we were going for.
Makes sense.
And I dropped the hula hoop and it like started rolling in a circle. So I was like chasing it down the stage, like running with my hands straight. I was trying to do like the actual run. So I was like doing this little kicky run. And I was like
Oh.
chasing it in circles.
This is why you fell. It all
This
comes
is
to
not
this.
when I fell. I did not
Oh.
fall. I did not catch the hula hoop either. And everyone in the audience was laughing at that one. That one was really
Jeez.
bad. So
All right. All right, let's go to the next one. Otherwise, Emily will
Man.
just keep breaking down all.
I
of
mean,
her
it's pretty
ballet stories.
good. You should just keep going. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Elijah, why don't we spin the wheel for you here?
Oh, hi there.
Let's get the cat one. That's
The cat one.
This one time on a mission trip.
But wait, what's the cat one?
I was talking about cats. This one time on a mission trip, I
got really sick, actually, and no regrets how I got sick. It was in high school, where we visited a lot of different parts of Eastern Europe, but the majority of the time was spent in Romania, and it was during the winter, and there's, it's a mix of good and bad memories, but I think the best memories were which were also heartbreaking in a way, but I think that's what also made it special, because it was seeing the gypsy villages and the kids. We were doing like a toy drive, so we're passing out toys, and we hosted a chapel service for them. And it's like I had been to Mexico at this point already. I was also in the Tenderloin district for different trips, and I don't know what it was with this one. I think it was also seeing just the state of the country, just being, post USSR area, and how much of the people were just trying to find work and they had to go out of the country to find it. How much struggle there was, but literally like just being around these kids and the families too, they were just so happy and excited. And I always feel mixed about mission trips, because it's like we're not even spending that much time. We spent like 10 days. Like, how are you supposed to know an entire culture, let alone a language, within like a span of 10 days? But at least the universal language with kids play. So that was the best part for me, because I just felt like a human jungle gym. I mean, this always happened at VBS when I volunteered, where like I have half the kids hanging off of me, because I'm basically a big kid. So kind of hard for me to adult when I like being a kid with kids. I mean, I always did this too with my nephew, but now he's turning to a teenager, so it's kind of hard too. But that's how I got really sick, because I didn't care. They all had like the snivels and spreading the germs everywhere. But it was totally worth it. I was definitely down for like that second half of the trip, but I'm just like, I don't know. They would have different tapestries and newspapers within their homes to help keep it insulated, because it's so freaking cold. But they, even though they're all literally sleeping in the same room, and the families are like 5+ kids, and a lot of the dads were gone because they're working, trying to provide for the families. But it was just really cool to see how happy and excited they were to see us and hang out. And even during chapel, I felt like I felt so bad, because they wanted to like sit on me too, and I was like, you gotta pay attention. So it was a lot of fun. And yeah, it was like a annoying thing that I was the only one that got sick, but I was like, well, that just means I was the only one really playing with the kids. So it's kind of a a
You're
merit
one of
badge.
those.
Yeah.
I have to spin the wheel. It's my turn. Right, Jordan? I think it is my turn. Yeah, just share your culture. Youth worker highlight. Oh, okay, this one.
So you're gonna talk about Jordan?
No, I am not. I am going to highlight Carlos. He was from Santa Ana Corps, and Carlos Hernandez. I've kind of seen him around over the years, but I kind of I talked to him quite a bit at the Youth Leaders Conference, and got to hear his story. And then later I called him to talk a little bit more about his youth group. And Carlos he's an all-star. And I love being around or talking to people that care deeply about others. And Carlos is this person. And he's like one of those guys that's always happy. And so I admire that, because that's not my life either. And so so my youth worker highlight is Carlos Hernandez. It's Santa Ana Corps, great youth worker. The kids love him. He's just amazing with them. He's like a Pied Piper. And when you see him at events with his people are always with him. And that says a lot, because I've been to a lot of youth events where the kids are not around their youth worker at all. And so shout out to Carlos. Carlos, if you're listening, I just shouted out to you. I think you got
into
that.
the mic.
I think you got that impression when I said I shouted out to you earlier. So yeah, now it's time for a plug. I want to talk about Service Corps, which actually Elijah unknowingly helped this. Where
I did?
Service Corps is a mission trip opportunities that we have for young adults. Any young adults ages 18 to 28 could go to apply. They could apply to go to Service Corps. Service Corps traditionally is a summer-long program that you would apply to. You get assigned to a team. You don't know where you're going until after you get accepted, and then you get assigned to a team. We are still going to do Service Corps in that way, but we're only going to do like 2, maybe 3 locations a summer. We used to do 5 or 6 locations. But we are introducing 10-day Service Corps trips, which are more accessible.
Wow.
There you go.
I guess I did do a plug by
There you go.
accident.
So 10-day, they're a little bit more accessible for young adults. The young adult population it's hard to give up a full summer nowadays.
Very true.
Since we've introduced 10-day Service Corps, the applications have gone way up because people are available. So. So we did one at the end of August. We'll be looking at doing one in January and maybe one in spring break. And so they're going to be popping up throughout the year to do Service Corps. So if you're between the ages of 18 and 28, or you know someone at 18 28 who wants to serve in this capacity, check out Service Corps. You can find that in the show notes in the link and on our website at Saynetwork.com. Emily and Elijah, thank you for being here. Fun to hear your stories and get to know you guys a little bit more. And do you guys have anything you want to plug?
Follow Caring Magazine on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, if you're on there. I don't know who runs their social media, but she seems to be doing an amazing job. So
Well, I'll be sure to find out and
Yeah.
let her know.
yeah. So I'm gonna say it's linked in the show notes, and now they have to put it in.
Can't wait to go talk to Corey later.
I would just say follow Share Change on YouTube too. They are revamping it, trying to post more videos, but you should definitely go watch it. Because I know when I was applying for this position, that was where I saw a lot of the videos. And I think the one that stuck out to me when I was applying was the tiny homes. Because I had heard about tiny homes. I'd seen a special, in the news about it. And how LA was trying to kill it, shut it down. But it was really cool to see because that was the last thing I heard. And that was like in, 2016, 2015. But it was really cool because when I saw that video, it was a collaboration Salvation Army did with the city of LA trying to revamp it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
So it's just really cool. Salvation Army does a lot of really cool things.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Check out Caring and check out Share Change. And thank you for that. Anything that we've talked about, we'll link it in the show notes. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Saynetwork podcast on Apple, Spotify, and or YouTube so you don't miss out on new content. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week with more guests.
Oh.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Merry Christmas.